Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing something that I don't think I've ever done on my channel before. I'm going to be going through my entire bag collection. As I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, I'm a really big fan of bags. I really appreciate them. I really love them, and I've been collecting them for a really long time. This has been something that's been really highly requested over the years, and so I'm really excited to finally be doing it today. And I'm not just gonna be showing you guys the bags, I'm gonna be giving you guys all of the details, all of my thoughts on them. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and hit the thumbs up button if you wanna see more videos like this. Is there another category of fashion items that you like to see my entire collection of? Let me know in the comments, and let's just get right into it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty terrible with knowing the names of each of my bags just off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna put the names on the screen because I don't know what most of them are called. The very first designer bag that I ever purchased for myself was probably about 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and it was this Prada bag over here. I'm actually really proud of myself that this was my very first designer bag purchase because I feel like this has really stood the test of time. I have a couple bags in my collection that I purchased that are a little bit more on like the trendier side, but I do really love the more classic pieces that are going to stand the test of time, that aren't going to look dated in a year or two because they're too trendy. Throughout the 10 years that I've had this, I've just never gotten tired of this bag because it truly just is a classic. It's a really stunning blue color as well. I think this is probably one of my favorite colors that I have in my collection. It's just a gorgeous like denim-y blue that really goes with everything, and I think a blue is a really nice color for a bag because it's a color but it's still neutral and will go with a lot of things, especially for day to day. The size of this is also really great. You can fit so much stuff in here and it's not going to feel overstuffed. The Prada leather also wears so nicely throughout the years. It's not the type of leather that gets really soft, so it really holds its shape. It doesn't look worn, and if you look at this bag, like there is basically no marks or scuffs, and this is pretty heavily used. I mean, granted, I do take care of my bags. I keep them in dust bags, so it's not like I throw them around. I would say this is probably one of my favorite bags that I own just because this is such a classic, and I know I'm gonna have it for the next 50 years, and it's still going to look beautiful. So the next bag that I want to share with you guys is this really beautiful light gray YSL. So I actually bought this bag when I was in New York on my very first brand trip. It was obviously a really exciting trip. It was a really exciting moment in my career, and I was really riding on such a high that I got a little bit too excited and I decided to go to the YSL store and pick out a new bag. I think I was actually very inspired by Jamie Genevieve. I had seen her at the event and I was obsessed with the bag that she was carrying. It was very similar to this one. It was a similar color. It was a slightly different style, but after seeing her carrying that bag, I could not stop thinking about it, and I think that's what really pushed me to want to go to the YSL store. Now, even though this has a nice memory attached to it, this is definitely a purchase that I regret buying. I think I was just so in the mood when I was purchasing this, I didn't really think it through, and this just really is not the most practical bag. The color is beautiful, but I'm not such a big fan of light colored bags, especially with this YSL leather, which is quite soft. I find that it's really easy to scuff up, to get marks on it, and I'm always scared to take it out because I don't want it to get ruined. This bag also feels kind of fancy to me, and it's a little bit too big for nighttime, so I would really only go for it during the day. I don't really feel like I have such a huge place for this in my day-to-day life. I do think it was a mistake. I may even sell this at some point, but the memory that is connected to it is what's holding me back. So the next bag is from YSL as well, and this is another bag that I actually purchased while I was on a brand trip. It was when I was in San Francisco with Benefit, and Alana Davison and I actually purchased the exact same bag. We walked into the YSL store, I saw this, I fell in love with it immediately, so did Alana. We both ended up purchasing it, and I actually ended up getting a very small discount on this bag, which I feel like does not happen for designer bags, so it was very exciting. And the reason why I got the small discount was because I realized that the little clasp here on the strap was kind of loose and it wasn't opening up in the smoothest way. And obviously, if you're buying a designer bag, it should be pristine, it should be perfect. And I don't remember exactly how much they gave me as a discount, but they did give me a small discount because of that reason. I think this is one of my favorite bags that I have in my collection. I just think it's such a cool and versatile bag. I love the look of it. It feels very rock and roll. I like the distressed black, very shiny leather, the gold details. It opens like this. It holds a ton of stuff. I normally do wear this as a crossbody. It has a really long strap, but you can also take the strap off and you could totally wear it as a clutch as well. So it works great for during the day and for nighttime. And this is just such a great versatile, well-rounded bag, and I've gotten so much use out of it, and I can see myself using and loving this for many, many years to come. This is another bag that I actually got on sale. This is another YSL bag. I remember one day I went to Holt Renfrew and they had this table filled with all of these things on them that were on sale, and this bag was there, and it immediately caught my eye, and I was so excited to see that it was heavily discounted. I don't know why. I was very happy to grab it. So it's this really pretty cream color, and it has these black polka dots all over the bag, and it's a really nice little small bag, and I mainly wear this for nighttime, especially in the summertime. I get so much use out of it. It's like one of my go-to night bags. It's not a huge bag. I can't really fit a ton of stuff in here, but I can very easily fit my card holder, my phone, and some lip products, and that's really all I need, especially for nighttime. The strap is very, very long, and what I actually like to do is I wrap the strap around the front flap to shorten it and to kind of make it more like a shoulder bag, and that is how I've been enjoying wearing this particular bag. Now I want to share with you guys my absolute favorite nighttime bag, and it is this stunning mini saddlebag from Dior. You either love or you hate the saddlebag shape. I actually really was not a big fan of it when I saw that they came back with it, but it grew on me very, very, very quickly. There was one day where I went specifically to look for a bag for like special events, special occasions, a black tie type of bag. And so I was looking around at all of the stores, and when I saw this, I immediately knew that this would be my perfect bag, because I feel like this bag works really, really nicely for like weddings and more black tie functions, but it also works great as a normal nighttime bag as well. I love that it's satin. I feel like it elevates it a little bit more, and what is really the best part about this bag are the little crystals on the C and the D on the side, and on the D that dangles off. So it's super, super sparkly. Now, is it practical? No, it's not. It fits nothing. Because of the weird shape of this bag, you really can't fit much. I can fit my phone in here. Sometimes I even need to take the case off of my phone for it to fit properly in here. I can fit maybe one lip gloss and my cards, not even my actual card holder. So this is a bag that you have to kind of compromise what you're bringing with you, but I'm okay with it because I bring this for the fashion and not so much for the practicality of it. This is like probably one of my top 3 bags that I have in my collection. I love it that much. So that was my mini saddle bag. I do also have a full-size saddle bag. This is another one of my all-time favorite bags that I have in my collection. I actually got this after one of my breakups. This was my breakup bag. You know, when sometimes like you go through a breakup and you get a haircut, or maybe you do something just really extreme. My extreme was purchasing this bag. So there's 2 things about the saddle bag that I find makes it really special. First is the color. The color is everything. It is the most stunning plum color. The way this works is very similar to how the blue works from that very first Prada bag that I showed you. This is a color, but it's still quite neutral, so it's gonna go with so many different things. Because it's not just like a pure neutral color, it adds that little extra pizzazz to your outfit or whatever you pair this with. What also makes this bag special is this extra cool strap. This was actually purchased separately from the bag, and I feel like this strap makes the bag just extra awesome. The strap is a very similar color, and it just says Christian Dior on it, and it just adds like a cool little touch to a more of like a classic bag. And so you can leave the strap on, or you can obviously take it off and just use this bag as a, what's it called? A shoulder bag. But I personally prefer a longer strap. That way I can wear crossbody. It's just a little bit more convenient. Now, as far as function, it's definitely much better than the smaller saddle bag. You can fit a lot more in here. This has actually been my everyday bag as of late. I've been keeping a bunch of stuff in here. Again, it's not the most convenient bag. It's a little bit awkward to like reach in here and grab stuff because it's a little bit, I don't know, oddly shaped, but it works. So that is my breakup Dior saddle bag. Let's switch it up a little bit. This bag from Chloe was a bag that I was absolutely and positively obsessed with. The style of this bag is a little bit more relaxed. It's definitely a little bit on the bigger side of what I typically like to go for, but I've been pulling this out of my collection more lately, and I've been really enjoying having a bigger bag that I can just fit a whole lot of stuff in it. I think there was one day that I even put my iPad in here and it fit beautifully. I love the color of this. It's a beautiful soft tan, and I love this chain detail and how it kind of ties in a knot over here. I think that that little detail honestly kind of makes the bag. What's interesting about this bag is actually the closure. When you undo it, it detaches completely, which is kind of nice because especially if you need to use the full width of the bag, if you're really stuffing this with a lot of stuff, you definitely can do that. This is another bag that I found has worn really nicely throughout the years. It is a bit of a softer leather, and I actually find that it looks better over time because it's gotten even softer and a little bit more worn. I feel like that worn look really lends something to the style, and it's just a really easy and casual bag to wear. Now, I went through a big backpack phase, so let's talk about the 3 backpacks that I have in my collection. This backpack from Burberry, I think, was my gateway backpack. After I got this, I really realized the full extent of my love towards backpacks, and then I got a couple more, but this was my first. This is a great bag and it really got so much use. To be very honest with you, I do not wear this very much at the moment. Honestly, kind of have phases with all of my bags. It's not like I use a different bag every single day. And this was my everyday bag for a certain period of time. I just haven't really pulled it out of my collection lately. This bag is awesome though because it honestly can fit an insane amount of stuff in here. It has a drawstring, so you open it up like this, and it's quite big. I really liked the fabric on this bag. It is kind of like a nylon fabric, so it's super durable, very washable, very lightweight. I actually really like traveling with this bag because of all those reasons. So after really realizing my love for backpacks, I did get another one, and I really wanted to get an all black one. So I ended up picking up this guy from Louis Vuitton, which is a little bit smaller than the Burberry one. It still fits a ton of stuff, but it's a little bit more petite, which I really liked about it, and also more structured because this is a leather bag. So that's that guy. And then my third backpack, which is probably, I would say, my most used everyday bag at this point, is this other guy from Louis Vuitton. So this is very different compared to the other Louis Vuitton backpack. As you can see, they look completely different. This is like a normal zippered backpack, whereas this guy has a front clasp. It opens like that. I do also have a little Louis Vuitton pochette. I don't know what you would call this, that I attach in here, and this is where I put my receipts, which is actually very convenient and very handy. And I really like it because it's a backpack, obviously, but it feels a little bit less casual than a normal backpack. Sometimes when I wear even this bag, it kind of feels like I'm going to school, albeit with a very fancy backpack. This feels just a little bit more chic and less backpacky. I don't know if that makes any sense, but this is how my brain works. It's also the smallest backpack of the 3, but it still fits a ton of stuff, so it's really great for every day. Just a wonderful everyday bag, and it's super durable. However, I actually recently had to get it repaired. This little loop over here ended up breaking, which was very unfortunate. I don't even know how that ended up happening, but it did, and I had to bring it back to Louis Vuitton, and they got it fixed for me. If we're talking my most worn everyday bags, this is another one that has definitely made its way to the top. It is the nylon re-edition something bag. Again, I'm really bad at knowing my bag's names. I will put it on the screen. I'm not gonna lie, I was 100% influenced to purchase this bag just from seeing so many people wearing it. But this is more of a trendy bag that's still quite classic. So I wasn't worried that I was like giving into a trend, because this is a bag that really can't go out of style. It's a simple black bag. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it. It goes with everything, especially for day to day. Like, this was a bag that I could almost guarantee would go with my outfit. Size is great. It looks quite small, but you would be surprised with how much stuff you can actually fit in here. I also really loved the crossbody strap. I like how thick it is. I don't know why. That's just something that I enjoy about the bag. And this cute little pouch that comes on the strap is also really cute. Again, does this fit anything? Not really. Can you put like maybe your cards in here? Sure. Some hair elastics? Yeah. Lip gloss? Depends on how big it is. So I wouldn't say this is the most useful addition to the bag, but it's cute and I do like it. You can also take the long strap off and use it as a shoulder bag with this little chain, especially when traveling. When I don't want to travel with more than one bag, I'll bring this because I'll just wear it with the long strap during the day, and then at night I'll take the strap off and just use the small strap, and then I have a cute little simple black night bag. There's one thing though that disappoints me about this bag, and it is the fact that it is so destroyed on the inside. Now, I've worn it a ton, but I wouldn't expect to have as much wear and tear, literally, that I have on the interior of this bag that I do. Ooh, this is terrible. So the whole lining of the bag is destroyed. Look at this. It's totally ripped apart. I need to bring this to Prada and get this figured out and get it fixed, because this is just not, it's not okay. This is the first bag that I've had that has actually been damaged like this. And again, I don't know if it's because I've worn this so much and so there's just been a ton of wear, but I just feel like this shouldn't happen. Besides that, it really is one of my favorites, and I love it. I really do. This bag was probably one of my most worn bags over the last 2 summers. This bag is from a local Montreal brand called Partoem, and what makes this bag really special is that it's made out of one single piece of leather. And then the bag is held together with these little pins, and it just makes for a very like seamless, sleek, chic looking bag. It's very simple, but I really love also the simple addition of this type of hardware. I feel like it gives like a really cool touch to the bag. You like put this little piece of leather into the slot over here, and that's how the bag closes. And then the interior of the bag is also really simple. There's no extra pockets or anything like that. This bright kind of rusty orange color is so fun, and you would think it would be hard to wear, but you would be surprised with how many outfits I've paired this with. A lot of the clothes that I wear are quite neutral, so it's always nice to add a pop of color with your accessories and especially your bag. One thing I will say is that it definitely wears, especially on the edges. I find that like it's getting a little bit worn, so I would definitely keep that in mind, and I think you need to be just a little bit more careful with this bag. But I just love how it sits on the shoulder. It's really like the perfect shoulder bag. Let's talk about probably my biggest bag regret, and I've spoken about this before, I think in a luxury regrets video that I did a couple years ago, and it is this Gucci belt bag. This is another bag that I was totally influenced to buy just by seeing so many people wearing it online. I thought that it looked so cool, and I ended up picking it up, and I totally regret it because this bag is so just not my style. These types of mistakes are mistakes that I just will not make again. I'm very, very, very specific with the things that I do purchase, and I've made mistakes like this in the past, and I've learned from them, and I just am way more conscious of what I do purchase, and I want to make sure that whatever I purchase I will love for a very, very long time. So this is a belt bag or a fanny pack, however you want to say it, and you can use this either as a literal belt or you can wear it as a crossbody, which is normally how I wear belt bags. And even on the loosest notch, this is how the bag sits on the body as a crossbody, and I just find it to be really unflattering and look kind of off, like it doesn't look right. You also can't really fit very much in here, so just overall, this bag is just not for me, and I think I'll probably end up selling it at some point. This is like a 0 on 10 for me. Big, big regret. This next bag is probably one of my favorite purchases that I've ever made, just period. It brings so much joy to me and makes me so happy, and it is this super fun bead bag from Simon Miller. These beads on the strap, are you kidding me? It's fun, it's exciting, it's different. I have nothing else like it in my collection. The color is incredible. This green speaks to me on every level, and the beads are just like so fun. Who doesn't want beads on their shoulder strap? Now, is it timeless? I don't know. Probably not, but I don't really care because this makes me so incredibly happy, and I just absolutely love wearing it. And I really feel like it spices up any outfit that I pair it with, which I love. Let's dive into some of my larger bags. Starting off with this guy from Louis Vuitton. It has like the classic monogram, and then in the center you have this like velvety stripe that goes down the middle to add a little bit of color. And then I have this little keychain over here which says Vuitton in rainbow that goes across here. Just look at the bag without the little keychain, and then with. It just adds so much needed pizzazz. I do really love this, but it's not my absolute favorite bag. I do feel like it's not the most comfortable to wear every day. It's quite like a stiff and heavy bag to carry around, and I tend to prefer bags that are a little bit more lightweight and actually a lot smaller. Again, I kind of go through phases. Sometimes I want a bigger bag, sometimes I want a smaller bag. Right now I'm in my small bag phase. I'm sure it's going to turn around and I'm going to be back in my big bag phase, and then this will be waiting for me. But right now I'm just not really wearing this bag that much because it is just a little bit like of a heavier thing to carry around. I also don't find myself going towards this so often because I feel like it's a bag that's really loud and it definitely competes. I find it much easier to wear just like a solid bright color bag, but there's just a lot going on here. You have the monogram, you have the stripes, you have my rainbow keychain. Granted, I can take that off. So I do find that it's sometimes hard to pair it with certain outfits because I feel like the bag kind of overtakes the outfit a little bit. I think if I would have gotten the bag without the stripe detail, I would use it a lot more. And then even just like if it was the plain monogram with this, I feel like that would have been just like the perfect amount of pizzazz without being too much. But it's this velvet two-tone stripe thing that kind of throws me off sometimes. Oh, she's stunning. On its own, it's a very, very, very simple black tote bag. A little bit smaller than the Louis Vuitton one, so it's not as like heavy and large and in charge. It's still, you know, like a solid medium-sized bag. I love the gold clasp over here. I just think it's so classy and beautiful and chic. So on its own, she's stunning. She's a classic, she's a beauty. What takes her to the next level is her little addition, her strap. This is another one of those Dior straps that you can add onto your bags if you want to, and this one is so fun. It is like a bluish color and it has all of these really cool silver buttons all over it. And I love the fact that this is blue and this is black. You would think that they would clash, but it doesn't. I just feel like it adds a really cool edge to the bag. I'm gonna actually keep her out. I think this is gonna be my new everyday bag for the next little bit. Let's talk about my largest bag that I have in my collection, and this is another huge regret that I have. This is another bag that I've previously spoken about in my luxury regrets video as a bag that I totally regret buying. This bag is ridiculous. It's just simply ridiculous. It is the Givenchy, I don't even know what it's called, but it's basically like a bowling bag, and it is massive, and I very much wish that I would have gotten a smaller version of this bag. Problem is that it's like not just large in its size, but it's also very puffy. And because of its puffiness and how large and in charge it is, it just makes it a very awkward bag to wear, whether or not you use the top handles or you use the long strap. It just like fits so weirdly on the body. Let me show you. If you put this on your shoulder, how is that comfortable? It literally pushes my arm all the way out here because it's just so massive. And even just holding it with the top handle, it's again just like such a massive bag. And this is another bag that I would like to sell, but then I also have this little voice in the back of my head that's telling me, don't do it, Jamie. Maybe one day you will change your mind. I don't know though. I don't think I'm ever going to change my mind on this one. It's just too much. Big regrets for this one. This is my Bottega Veneta cassette bag in lavender, lilac. What would you consider this color? This bag is just so fun. I like that it's so different from everything else that I have in my collection. The color is definitely different than anything I have. The style of it is also very different. I was really worried about this bag. I was worried that I would ruin it really quickly because the leather is so soft. But I've worn it a ton and it looks practically brand new. One thing though that I'm very confused by, and let me know if anybody else has had this issue with any of their Bottega Veneta bags. I have this like peeling issue, okay? So they're like these strings that kind of come off on certain parts of the bag. You see that little string over there? So it kind of feels rubbery and then you just peel it off and it comes off. I'm assuming that's not normal. This is something that I've been meaning to actually bring to the Bottega Veneta store and kind of ask them about it. So that's my one criticism that I have for this bag. If I had to choose one bag for my entire collection to wear day to day, I think the bag that I would choose would be this one. It is from YSL and it's a very simple black bag. Is it the most exciting bag that I have in my collection? No, definitely not. But there's real beauty in its simplicity, and that's what makes it so versatile and so easy to wear. It's really the perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small. It fits a perfect amount of stuff in here, exactly what you would need for day to day. And it's just like a clean, chic, simple bag. I also really like the leather that's on this bag. It's not super soft, so it doesn't show crazy signs of wear. I had this for quite a while, probably about like 6 years or so, and it honestly looks brand new. And I've worn it a lot. Like it shouldn't look brand new, but it really does. It's worn really beautifully. When it's worn just hanging from the shoulder, it hits a really comfortable length on the body, and it's also a perfect crossbody bag. You see what I mean about the size? It's not overwhelming, it's not too much, it doesn't take over your look, but it's just perfect. I got 2 more bags to share with you guys. We are almost done. I have this ginormous tote bag from Dior. This is a beautiful bag. I absolutely love the color of it. I love a good like dark burgundy or dark purple in a bag. I just think it's such a beautiful, timeless color. I use this for a long time as my work bag, so I would put my laptop in here. Anything I would need to bring in work, I would put in here. I even did a video of what's in my work bag featuring this bag. I stopped using it for that purpose because I found it to be just really inconvenient, and now I use like a full-on heavy duty backpack to carry my stuff to work because it just makes more sense. This was cute, but just really not practical. Now you would think that this would be like such a great versatile type of bag because it's basically just like a giant tote, but I think because it's just a giant tote with no closure, nothing, it's just like a giant open space, I'm always hesitant to use it because I do like to close my bag. I just feel like it's the safest way to carry around your stuff. So now that this is my work bag, I just am not sure how I should use this bag because this is not a bag that I would want to carry around day to day. It's just way too massive for that. It's so beautiful though. I do not want to sell it, but I don't know what to do with it. So that's where I'm at with this one. The last bag that I wanted to share with you is this guy from Lululemon. And right now, this is probably one of my most worn bags. This is a belt bag from Lululemon that I wear crossbody like this. And this is one of my go-to day-to-day bag. Whether I'm just doing like errands during the day or I'm going for a really long walk, this is a bag that I love to grab because I just don't have to worry about it. It's nylon, so it's super washable, it's super durable, super lightweight. It's very, very comfortable to wear and it fits everything that I need. My boyfriend actually started stealing my bag for me, which is something that's never happened to me before. And he loved it so much that he literally just claimed it as his own. And so I had to buy myself a new one. So this is well loved by me and by him. But honestly, this is like one of my most worn favorite bags. It's just so great, so convenient, and just wonderful for day to day. That is it. That is my entire bag collection. I have absolutely no idea what happened to my outro, so editing Jamie here to save the day. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts in the comments and hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.